The 2023 Streamies happened this past weekend, and it ended up being a bit of a mess. From the people who won certain awards, backlash over who won and who didn't win, and the overall organization of the event. There have definitely been more complaints than compliments, and we have to talk about it. It's a mess, so let's get into it. So, the Streamies happened on Sunday, and to be honest, I actually had no idea they were even happening. I swear I heard literally no promo for it. It didn't seem to have a ton of excitement around it. I don't know if I'm just not keeping up, but to me, it didn't seem like a lot of people cared about the Streamies. Now, one person I was surprised to see attend was Ethan Klein. Ethan has had a bit of a beef with the Streamies for a few years now. He's been very outspoken about his dislike of the Streamies and how they operate, and how they pretty much snub his podcast year after year.
I've always talked about them, so I understand why they snub me. Like, our podcast never wins. It wasn't even nominated this year. And I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, you're up, bro.
And he's right. I mean, every year there seems to be someone who wins and makes everyone so confused. Like that year that Tana Mojo won Creator of the Year when she was going up against Mr. Beast.
Tana. Yo, this feels like one of those like mean girl moments where I should like break it off and give it to everybody who actually deserves it.
So you can understand Ethan's frustration. He has a big podcast with nearly 3 million subscribers. They stream multiple times a week. And the year that they had the Frenemies podcast, literally the biggest podcast of the year, they didn't even receive a nomination. Well, that changed this year. The H3 podcast was finally nominated for Podcast of the Year, and Ethan and Ela actually decided to attend. Ethan still had his reservations about going because there were signs of how it was going to play out. They were going up against Call Her Daddy, Impulsive, On Purpose with Jay Shetty, and The Yard, and the Streamies were heavily pushing Jay Shetty.
Now, we are planning on going. Nobody's gotten sick. We're planning on going. Everything's good, but there's just a little things that are making me still question if I'm going to do this, you guys. The first one, when you look at their promo material, the thumbnail, Jay Shetty. And in this is Jay Shetty. Why do they care about him? Why do they care about this man?
Ethan still decided to go, and before we get into what happened, we have to talk about the pre-show interviews. People magazine was in charge of the interviews, and they asked Ethan what are the do's and don'ts of being an influencer, and Ethan took the opportunity to shade James Charles.
Do and don't? Don't.
Sure.
Okay,
Yes.
that's been a problem.
Yes.
That's a straight up don't. Do is just date people that are over the legal image. Yeah. Do that.
Be appropriate.
Yeah. Have you guys seen James Charles this evening?
We have not.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
Ethan was also asked about Trisha's child Malibu Barbie, and you could kind of tell the question caught him off guard.
Oh, I'm very happy for them. She's beautiful. I agree. There's nothing more. I mean, listen, we have 2 kids, a third on the way. There's nothing more sacred and beautiful in the world than a baby. So I'm very happy.
It's like, why are you asking about someone's baby? What do you really expect him to say? Everyone knows they aren't on good terms. They haven't been able to even meet Malibu. That's literally Ela's niece. So I'm sure the fact that relationship is rocky is probably a sore spot for them. Ethan actually reacted to the question during his live yesterday, and he pretty much said how strange it was to be asked something like that.
What did they expect? Like, I don't know. It's a dumb question.
So dumb.
Babby.
They go, what do you think about this child, this innocent, beautiful child? Should it exist? Can you?
That's so crazy.
Could you go back in time and,
Now, for the actual award show, Ethan was seated really far in the back, away from everything. Normally when people are nominated for awards, they're seated closer to the stage so they can get up really quickly. So things already weren't looking good for Ethan. When it came time to announce the winner of the podcast category, the Streamies cut to a commercial break and did it off air. The H3 podcast ended up losing to Jay Shetty, and Ethan reacted to the news on Instagram, writing, "Literally lost to Shetty during a break. My worst nightmare has happened. He also reposted a Reddit comment which said, I just know Hila won't be able to drag Ethan out of the house for a good 6 months after this. And Ethan said, more like 6 years. Immediately after H3 lost, the live viewers for the Streamies dropped significantly because most of them were H3 fans waiting and hoping to see Ethan finally win. A lot of people think the results were rigged since the H3 community is huge and clearly a lot of people were voting for them, whereas Shetty doesn't have the same consistent audience. His podcast views are pretty all over the place, whereas the H3 podcast is consistently getting around the same number of views for every stream. Moving on, let's talk about Tana Mojo. Tana was presenting the award for gamers alongside Chris Collins, and let's just say the speech was a little bit of a mess.
Gamers. I love gamers, and I swore. 2023 has been a huge year for gaming.
Yeah, it's been unreal. Every game that's come out this year has been awesome.
Oh yeah? What's your fave? Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Street Fighter 6?
I'm gonna go with Resident Evil 4, girl. You know me. What about you?
Oh girl, I'm just out here trying to play the game of life.
That's valid. That's fair. I love that game. I always pick the little blue plastic car, an athlete career, and a wife, and a husband, and...
Don't have any of those.
Okay.
No, not the board game.
Oh, okay. Oh, like the sci-fi thriller starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds, Life.
You are so much better at this than me. Let's just check out the nominees.
People were saying that Tana seemed drunk or on something, with one person writing, did any of y'all see Tana presenting the award at the Streamies? Not gonna lie, she looked a little messy. Like, I honestly hope she was just being a little silly while sober, because I know she said she was trying to run 75 hardback on the last Jeff FM podcast, but I don't know. Well, Tana is responding to all the speculation about her being drunk, and she says that she was completely sober. Apparently, she was supposed to announce the food category with Brie, but ended up getting switched last minute, and that completely threw her off.
I find it so much more embarrassing that I was dead sober in this clip. Didn't even smoke, like just dead, like day 10 of 75 hard, dead sober. Last night was my first time presenting at the Streamy Awards. Last night was also my last time presenting at the Streamy Awards. I think I should have won an award last night for Dumbass of the Year because you can truly do anything on an award show stage except for swear. And all the times I've been on the Streamy stage, I've never sworn. I knew it, didn't swear. Within the first 10 seconds, I was doomed for failure. I was originally supposed to present the food award with Brianna Chicken Fry. I know Brianna Chicken Fry. I eat food. Makes sense for me. Could have been like a funny little, sassy little crazy girl moment. And then within the final hours of the Streamies, they're like, you're actually going to present gaming. Whose idea was it for Tana Mojo to present gaming? I get out there, I see the script. It's giving Legend of Zelda. And you guys know, if you know me, I am so bad at like reading a script or saying and doing things that like I wouldn't do. Like I just have to laugh it off. I find it so cringe. Like, oh girl, like no one told me I had to stay on the stage and like hug the winner afterwards either. And I'd already swore. The script was just so not me. Like, you know me, when I'm uncomfortable, I am out that hell. Also, Dream like makes me nervous. Gamers make me nervous. I know he's like a sweetie, but like, I just had to go. I've been offered a million times to be a presenter at an award show like the Streamies or any award show for that matter. And I pretty much always say no because I'm just so bad at some teleprompter, corny. This is what I get for being like, try something new, do it, step out of your comfort zone. Don't, Tana, actually don't. What I will say is very on brand. I think the Streamies needed a moment like that. I'm happy to be it. But to everyone saying I was drunk, no, I wish I was drunk. I probably would have done better. I find it so embarrassing how sober I am in that clip. Go gamers.
See, this is what I mean by the streamies not being well organized. Switching a category on someone at the last minute is just a recipe for a disaster. Especially since it's not like Tana is this like professional presenter. I'm sure she's not used to reading off of a teleprompter, and she even said herself on a podcast before, reading off a script just isn't for her. I feel like if they had to just let her say her own thing, then it probably would have gone over so much better. Finally, we have to talk about the award for Beauty Creator of the Year. Nominated this year was Brad Mondo, Colleen Makeup, Michaela, Miss Darcy, and Nikki Tutorials. Michaela was documenting herself getting ready for the event. She had Chris Appleton doing her hair, Alexa Oakley was doing her makeup. Michaela ended up winning the award for Beauty Creator of the Year, and she got really emotional during her acceptance speech.
And the Streamy goes to... Oh, it's right here.
Oh, we thought it was gonna be like a little slip.
Mikayla Nogueira!
Oh my god, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna cry. I guess I'll just say this. If you do this career, never forget why you started doing it. And never forget the people who believed in you along the way. And never stop following your dreams, even if people try to get in the way of that. Thank you.
Now, a lot of Michaela fans weren't happy with the way that the audience reacted. A lot of fans pointed out how straight-faced everyone in the audience was, and also the lack of clapping. One person wrote, "Wow, it's so sad to see how many people didn't clap. So much hate in that room. Congratulations, girl. Well deserved." Another person said, "God, everyone in the audience needs to be more supportive. This is amazing. She deserved it so much." Now, first of all, I will say, Michaela was seated so far in the back, they would have had to give her a standing ovation if they wanted to clap for the length of time that it took her to reach the stage. I also feel like maybe people thought that she wasn't even there. A lot of creators don't even show up for their awards, and you don't typically see Michaela out at these creator events. People probably just weren't expecting her to be there, and also, maybe they weren't expecting her to win that award. Michaela had Lashgate this year. She literally lied to her audience about the results of a product for a check. She tried to pass off falsies as the results of only using mascara, and it left a lot of people upset and not trusting her anymore. A lot of people like to say, "Oh, it's just mascara, who really cares?" But it's not. It's deceptive marketing. The funny thing is that mascara was actually good on its own. She didn't have to lie, and she lost a lot of people's trust over that. She never ended up addressing it either. All she did was make jokes about her being deceptive and thought it was so funny. To me, someone who wins in the beauty category should be someone who's honest, someone who doesn't lie about results for money, someone who actually discloses their sponsorships properly, and isn't deceptive for the sake of a sponsorship. All year long, Michaela has been called out for hiding her sponsorships and lying to her audience, and she still hasn't changed. Even after the FTC updated their guidelines on disclosure, she still hasn't made the simple change of putting #ad in her post. It's just pretty ironic in the same year as Lashgate, she somehow manages to win this award.
I won Beauty Creator of the Year. I have to tell you, I've struggled this year with this career and feeling like I'm not meant to be an influencer and that I don't deserve to be in this space, and it's been really a challenge. I went into this award show thinking there is no way in hell that I am gonna win this award, and I'm a big pessimist. I'm not getting my hopes up for nothing. These are all character defects I'm working on, okay? But when they called my name, I cannot express. Felt like everything I've done the past 3 years has been worth it. It just felt really good.
The comments for the Streamies are heavily moderated, but one comment that made it through said, "Wasn't she busted multiple times for lying? Awkward." I definitely think there could have been so many more deserving options for this category, but hey, Tana won Creator of the Year once, so I guess it's really not that serious. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. Were you surprised by any of the winners? Did you vote for anyone? Or were you like me and had absolutely no idea it was even happening? Let me know and I'll see you next time.